Hola, minasan! Welcome back for another round of gaming. Or welcome back. Sorry, we are having some technical difficulties. Ashley, is everything okay? Is everything okay? Yeah. Yeah? All right. Ashley says it's okay. So let's start this again. Hola, minasan! Welcome back to the Splatterbomb Lounge at the Splatterdome in Splattertown, USA. I'm Coqui-san. My name's Sandy. This is Bradley. Spraycon's the name. May the righteousness be with you. Here's Roller! And we got a new game today. Today is a new game, and that new game is Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Well, what is this game? It's a game about law. Law? Who makes a game out of law? Capcom, apparently. They made a game out of law. Well, what's the objective? Well, you played the defense attorney Phoenix Wright, and you gotta prove the innocence of your clients, or they end up in prison forever. Oh, that sounds interesting. Dude, I've seen the live streams. That's some crazy stuff. I don't get any of it. Well, that's what we're gonna find out. This is gonna be my first ever playthrough. I have seen some of the how you say let's plays, and I'm still lost on the whole thing. I'm still completely lost on how to do anything, on how this game works. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of trial and error going on here. I have to say, is this going to be fun? Well, this is the visual novel I was talking about, and yes, we're gonna have fun because we're gonna assign you guys certain characters. So, you know, like I said, you know, this is a very popular game. It's very hard to, you know, avoid in terms of who's who. So, you know, we're gonna get to do our roles, and we're going to have fun. I'm still trying to decide, though, what to do with you, Spraycon. Dude, I could do everybody. Not really. Can't really do everybody, but you may have to do certain select characters if I can't no, keep you around. I don't know, we'll have to see. So what are we gonna do? What are we voicing? Well, I'm gonna do Phoenix Wright. Andy, you get to be Maya. Who's Maya? This girl right there. See, right there? Oh, the little one? No, the taller one. The taller one. Oh. And Roller, you're gonna use your upper voice for Edgeworth. Really? Who's Edgeworth? This, ominous looking guy up here. The one with the mask! No, not the Geordie LaForge character, the one to the right. Oh, okay. Bradley, you get to be the judge. The judge. Yes. The very judge. I love you. Ah, please. None of that. I said I love you. Okay. I guess I love you too. So that leaves you, Spraycon, with... I guess I could start you off with Larry Butz. Dude, that's hilarious. I'm a butt. Dude, I'm a total butt. Yes, don't get too carried away, Spraycon. Now, I have a big question to ask you. Yeah? What were you planning to tell us last week? Oh, yeah. It was official this week. The author is canceling the show. What? Huh? Yeah, I'm afraid Splatterbomb Lounge is going to be canceled. What? By episode 100. That doesn't make sense! Why make an announcement now? Well, I don't know. I mean, it's just the way the author wanted it. Well, what happened? He's running out of money because of this show. He can't afford it anymore. And it doesn't matter what we accomplish. It's over. Dude. The sands have fallen and drifted off into the air. Yeah. Yeah. Great. So this is the second time you're losing your show. Yes, it's the second time I'm losing my show. First the producers, now the author. I don't know what it'll take to get this show back. But yeah, the funds are running dry. And he does not want to go broke with the rest of us. Me and you. I have money. Thanks to that Splatterbomb League money. He's right. We're all rich just for playing Splatterbomb League. Although I'm richer than all of you. Yeah, sure, because you're a Sky Pirate. Yes. Through unconventional means. Well, tough break for you. Let's get on with the game. Indeed! Okay. Well, we gotta start with the first game in the series, which is just Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Activating red tie.
Red tie on. Have a nice day.
And new game. So here are all the choices. We got Phoenix Wright, and then we have Justice for All, which is the second. Trials and Tribulations, which is the third. So those are the first three Phoenix Wright games, and we're gonna go through the first one, which starts with episode 1, the first turnabout. Okay. So we'll see what happens here. I'm very nervous. Why are you nervous? Well, I've never done this type of game before. Visual novels in general, quite honestly. It's gonna be a weird experience. Well, I'm sure it's gonna be fun. Don't worry, you're gonna do fine. Indeed! By the way, I assume I'll need my metal voice, right? Most likely, yes. We'll probably have to use your metal voice. I don't know if it's anytime soon, though. Thank God! So, we're gonna play the first turnabout. Oh, my head hurts.
Someone like him. Yes. I'll make it look like he did it.
We'll use Janeway voice on that one. That was Janeway voice. Yep, that was Janeway voice. What is it? I'm trying to think of what to call the third one.
I got this one.
Red tie? What do you mean you got this one?
August 3rd, 9:47 a.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby number 2.
Oh, thank you. Boy, am I nervous.
Rad.
Oh, hiya, Chief.
Phew, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. But everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. It says a lot about you, ... and your client as well.
Thanks? Actually, it's because I owe him a favor.
A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case?
Yes. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney.
Well, that's news to me.
I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much.
It's over.
Oh. Is that me, dude? I think so, Spraycon. Dude, my life. Everything is all totally over.
Huh? Is that his client screaming over there?
Yeah, it's him. Death, dude. Despair. Oh, the humanity, man. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die. See this rope here? I just gotta tie it up and wrap it around my neck.
It sounds like he wants to die.
Yeah. Let him. I think I should let him. Nick, dude. Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell him I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die, dude. I'm total hardcore. Definitely hardcore. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over, dude. I'm totally finished. Like, righteous finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't, dude. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Aw, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? Person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspapers say it was you. Your inner monologue stinks. I know that, Bradley. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story of a lovely lady. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butz. My best dude since grade school. Our school had a saying, on top of the smiles, that's usually the butts. Dude. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. You just look at his eyes, you can see the butts in him. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. He truly is a butt. One thing I can say though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone, he's a good guy at heart. That and I owe him one. Which is why I took the case to clear his name. And that's just what I'm going to do next week. Dude, it's today. I know.
August 3rd, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 2.
Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butz. Butz.
The prosecutor's ready, Your Honor.
I think you could do a better voice than that. Yeah, I think so. I know. How about this here? The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright. This is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. I hope you have read your books. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves and develop some balls. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, you need your balls now. I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Head shaking, eyesight fading, balls shriveling. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. I will not tolerate insolence. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. Larry Butz? Defendant? Well, that's Larry Butz, Your Honor. Why do you look so unsure of your own client's name? I'm sorry. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial, is it not? Tell me, what's the victim's name? Ooh, I know this one. Glad I read the case report. Covered it so many times. I'm really smart. I guess this is the button. Okay. Okay. Interesting, so the R button gives me access to this. That's cool! Look, R's for profiles. Yeah, Sandy, let's check it out. What we got here? Mia Fey, chief attorney at Fey Company, my boss and a very good defense attorney. Okay, so I have to read this in my voice. Okay. The defendant in this case, a likable guy who has been my friend since grade school. The victim in this case, a model. She lived in an apartment by herself. And the prosecutor for this case lacks presence, generally bad at getting his points across. Oh, that doesn't sound good. No, it doesn't. Attorney's badge. No one would believe I was a defense attorney if I didn't carry this. Okay. And this is the case. Loss of blood due to blunt trauma. Ooh. And there's the time of death between 4 and 5 on July 31st. Okay. It's, wait. No way. I forgot. I drawn a total blank here.
Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the name's victim? How dare you? I hired you!
Oh, the victim. Of course I know the victim's name. Temporarily?
I think I feel a migraine coming on. Where are my pills? Look, the victim's name listed in the court record. Just press the I button to check it out at any time.
R button?
Yes, the R button.
I didn't know we had an R button in court.
Well, you gotta press the R button right now.
Okay.
Remember, just check it out then. Do it, please. Do it for me. For the love of all things, I'm begging you. Press the R button always.
Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case? The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. You're getting a little confident there. Don't get cocky. Now, tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was hit with a blunt object. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. Though, next time I should have you in my chambers to elicit these types of questions instead of in front of witnesses and the jury. Now, let's begin. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. But I have my eye on you. Thank you, Your Honor. I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then. First, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright just told us the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what the object was? The murder weapon was this statue, the painter. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence.
Statue added to the court record.
Statue in the shape of the thinker. It's rather heavy.
Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence gathered during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Use the R button to check the court record frequently. Remember, the R button.
Where is this R button you're talking about? We're in a courtroom. Now, if you just pay attention and stop worrying about the R button, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butz. What happened there? Sorry, the tie? Red tie?
I'm fine.
The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butz, to the stand. Chief, what do I do now?
Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate.
Well, this is Butz we're talking about, so... Confidence?
Confidence.
Uh-oh, Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad.
Ahem.
Miss Butz, is it true? Is it not true that the victim you had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy. That was my girlfriend you were talking about. We were awesome together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra, Mark Anthony, Bennifer. Didn't they all die? Except for the last two? I wasn't dumb, dude. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me, ever. What's it to you anyway? Miss Butz, what you described is generally what we mean by dumb. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, dude? One of them? She was cheating on me? How could she be cheating on me? Lies. All of it lies, dude. I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. She bought baguettes and everything.
Passport added to the court record.
The victim apparently arrived from Paris on July 30th, the day before the murder. Indeed. She appears to have returned the day before the murder. Your Honor, aren't you supposed to stay quiet while the whole thing is going on? Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. She was broke and she was going poor. It appears she had several sugar daddies. Daddies? Sugar? Is she a lollipop? Yes, all the men who gave her money and gifts. She was a perfect grifter. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! You can clearly see what kind of woman this Stone was. She clearly didn't have the money for her. Tell me, Miss Butz, what do you think of her now?
Right. I don't think you want to answer that question.
Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Especially towards his butt. Should I? I'll stop him from answering. The client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. I'm slamming the bench for a reason. That question is irrelevant to this case. That's why I'm pointing at you. Oh. Wait. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? What does that even mean? Because somebody give me a dictionary? That cheating she-dog? I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Right here, now. Yeah, and when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm going to get to the bottom of this, dude. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? Can we all focus? I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is so not looking good. Where did we go wrong? Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Gulp. Well, did you or did you not? Well, Maybe I did, dude. And maybe I didn't, dude. Uh-oh. He went. What do I do? Hold on. Have him answer honestly. Let's try that. I don't know. I'll send him a signal. Slam the gun. Tell me the truth. I'm pointing at you, Butz. Yeah, I was there. I went there. Order. Well, Mr. Butz. Dude, chill. You're like steaming over there. She wasn't home, man. So like, I didn't see her. Anna, defendant is lying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who could prove Mr. Butz was lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body. Just before making the gruesome discovery. Dude, he saw the defendant. Dude. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Dude. Order in the court. Stop with the robble. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. Why is everything going south? On the day of the matter, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sawit to the stand. Ooh. Mr. Sawit, you sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct? Yes. Oh, yes. Newspapers, yes. Mr. Sawit, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder.
Witness account.
I was going door to door, selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment, and I saw her lying there. A woman, not moving, dead. I quailed with fright and found myself unable to go out inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment was not working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran. Without a doubt. The defendant sitting right over there.
Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? Can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working?
Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building.
Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout?
Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sawit used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of blackout for your perusal.
Blackout record added to the courtroom.
Electricity to Miss Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. Now, Mr. Wright. Yes. Yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Do not fail me. Cross-examination. Your Honor, don't tell me you don't know what cross-examination is.
Alright, what?
Alright, right.
This is it.
The real deal.
What exactly am I supposed to do?
Why, you're supposed to expose the lies in the testimony the witness just gave.
Lies? What? He was lying?
Seriously? Did you not learn in court in law school? The client is innocent, right? You're supposed to represent your witness. Do you want to lose your bar license? And that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty?
How'd I prove he's not?
Did you not read the manual while you were in school? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in that. Thus, find contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face.
Okay.
I want a court record with the R button. Then, point out the contradiction in the testimony.
Again with the R button? Where's this R button in this courtroom?
Just do it.
Alright.
Witnesses account.
Last guy I died at door selling subscriptions when I saw a man flee the apartment.
What are my options here? Oh, those are my options. I don't think that means anything. So let's go to the next one.
I thought he might be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him.
Well, how would he? He says he thought.
Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, the woman not moving there. I grabbed my friend and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately.
What is it? What's going on? I'm trying to figure out here. What do you guys think? I don't know. I'm only the judge. Dude! He said the time was 1 o'clock. The time of death was between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. How would he know that? Go for it. Objection! You found the body at 1 p.m.? You sure?
Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain.
Slam the desk. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. No puns. Sorry. How do you explain this 3-hour gap?
It's trivial.
Witness merely forgot the time. No. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Saw it. Why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Beware my eyes.
Gee, that's probably a good question.
Good job, Rock. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you had to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, and the whole story falls apart. Like an episode of Game of Thrones.
Wait, I remember now.
Would you care to give your testimony again? Judge, why are you letting him redo his testimony?
The time of discovery.
You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Very sorry about the misunderstanding.
I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. I don't think this is legal, Your Honor.
Right. You know what to do.
I've got this one.
The time of discovery.
You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television.
Coming from the television. Wait, what makes you think it was taped? You weren't even inside the room. You're right! How would he know it was a tape without going inside? He said he wouldn't go in! Let's see here. Let's try this. A video?
Yes, that would explain why the time was wrong.
True.
Right?
I think the problem lies someplace else.
What?
We agreed that you heard the time at the scene then. Wait a second. Wait, this doesn't make sense. Wouldn't it be right to say this was the contradiction? Because he wasn't inside. He said it himself. He didn't go inside. How would he know that it was a taped program without going all the way inside and looking at the TV? Why not try that? It's probably the same conclusion you got, but a different point. Let's see. Are you sure it was a television, not a radio?
No, I guess it might have been a radio.
Evidently, there was no radio on the premises. There was only one large television.
Right. I can't put my finger on it. But something about this seems fishy. Something about hearing the television.
The witness has testified. We heard the time. Alright, so it was 3 hours off. Try that. How do you explain the gap? Well, witness, can you explain this?
I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Very sorry about the misunderstanding.
Was anything suspicious?
Yep.
See, when I found the body, I heard the time.
Okay, who told the time?
There's a voice saying the time. That's probably coming on the television. But it was 3 hours off, wasn't it?
I guess the victim must have been watching a videotape.
Do you think it's the first one? Let's try that. You said heard, not saw?
Yes, heard. All I saw was the body lying there. I didn't think to look at anything else, at least of all my watch.
Isn't that a little strange? So you're saying you heard something? But if you were so shocked by the body, you wouldn't hear anything at all. During this
did say he actually heard the time. So look at to suggest he wouldn't hear anything.
I have to agree with the prosecution. Witness, continue your testimony.
Well, which is it? What this one? Are you sure it was a television, not a radio? Well, no, I guess it might have been a radio. Incidentally, there was. Incidentally, there was no radio on the premises. There was only one large television. Yeah, we've already gone through this. If he said he heard the time... Here, let's try this. Are you sure the voice you heard said it was 1 p.m.? Yes, I can practically hear it now. It's quite clear.
Mr. Payne, has the prosecution verified this testimony?
My apologies, Your Honor. I, too, have only just learned that the witness heard the time. Oh, I'm really sorry. I only remembered it just now.
Well, you just watched it.
How much point pressing on that one was there? A video? Yes, that would explain why the time was wrong.
True.
Right? I think the problem lies someplace else.
We agreed that you heard the time at the scene then.
Alright. I think I just about tried everything. What's going on here? Alright, let's try this one. How do you explain the gap?
Well, witness, can you explain this?
New video? Yes, that would explain why the time was wrong. True.
Right. I think the problem lies someplace else.
I'm getting tired of repeating the same things. Can we get to something?
This is... Am I supposed to show one of these? Oh! Right. Oh, I see. Yes. Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. Oh. Slam the... You couldn't have heard a television or a video. The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sawit?
No, I'm kind of quite puzzling myself. Why? Wait. I remember now.
Mr. Sawit, lying to the court is an offense. The court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constraint corrections are harming your credibility.
That's constant.
Why? That, and you seem rather distraught.
My apologies, Your Honor. I must have been distracted to find the body.
Very well, Mr. Sawit.
Judge?
Let's hear your testimony once more, please.
Judge, I think there's something wrong here.
Hearing the time.
Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a tail on the clock on the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw.
You saw a clock. I guess that would explain it. Yes. The defense may cross-examine the witness.
Can we sidebar, Your Honor?
No.
Fine. Gladly.
Hearing the time.
If you saw it, wait. That's not a clock. Is it a clock? That's what he has saw. How would he know that? Impressive. A table clock? Was there a clock at the scene? This is the first I've heard of it. Prosecutor, are you withholding evidence?
Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim.
The murder weapon?
Yes, the table clock that was used as a weapon. That's what I just said. Did he doze off in the middle of my testimony or something?
Something's fishy here. Why didn't you tell us that in the first place? This is very important information.
I guess it just slipped my mind.
Not an excuse in this court.
I'm not really sure how it happened myself.
So you were there or not there?
Witness says he saw the table clock and the story.
It doesn't just go like that, Payne.
Right, yeah?
Now, find the contradiction.
So, did you see this? This evidence clearly reveals the contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. How exactly are that evidence and the statement just now related? They aren't, are they? No, not at all. Mr. Wright, please think the facts over before making accusations. I don't think that won me any points with the judge. Alright, let me press this then. That strikes me as a very suspicious mistake.
Yes, I can see how you'd be a little doubtful. I'm really sorry. I only just remembered the table clock.
A table clock. A table clock? Was there a clock at the scene? I'm not reading that. I know Brad. What's the next one? Okay, so if it's not this... Huh. Let me try this. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. Huh? It does. I don't see anything contradictory to that. Really? Objection overruled. Try to think before you make accusations, alright, or I'll throw you in the brig. Oops, that didn't go so well. I wonder. Are you gonna try this one? I guess so. Objection! Your Honor, that statement contradicts the evidence. It does. I don't see anything contradictory. Objection overruled. I will throw this gal out if you screw up again. Uh-oh. I think you have to time it! You gotta put it to the right one! about this one? Wait, just a moment. I think you got it. Yep, looks like I did, Handy. Slam the desk. The murder weapon wasn't a clock, it was this statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock?
You with your objections and your evidence, just
Who do you think you are? An attorney? I'm a lawyer, that's my job. So, answer the question, saw it?
Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock.
Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne.
As witness stated, the statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies.
I see. I should really bring you to the bench and explain to you how this works. So, the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Your Honor, that's not how it works. Do you have any problems with this testimony now? Yes. I also have a problem with you. Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Has anybody done the fingerprints? Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Slam the desk. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he... Oh. Choose wisely! I'll say, went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder.
Oh yeah, prove it. Prove I went in there.
Slam the desk. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Quiet. Order in the court, or I'll have you all electrified. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Saw it. The sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind, like an earworm. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. He's about to have a diarrhea explosion. Would the witness need to go to the bathroom? So care to elaborate. Did you strike the victim with the clock? Do not lie to me.
Slap.
Seriously?
Heck yeah! It was him! I tell you, I saw him! He killed her, and he burned her! Burn! Give him death!
Order. Order in the court, I say. Can't anybody pay attention and obey my word?
Your moment. Your Honor, I want to play us. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claim.
Mr. Wright.
Your Honor.
You claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? What's wrong? Wow. This is insane. The whole case is riding on this. I better think it through carefully. Your Honor, the sound that you saw her was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply... Let's obviously check the clock's batteries! No, just try sounding the clock. all we have to do. Alright. Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I asked the court to listen very carefully.
Beep. I think it's 8:25.
That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So, you've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. Ah. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Because it's very slow to think. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sod heard and the actual time of death.
So, Mr. Sod.
So, Mr. Sod, you need to be careful. I know, Bradley. Again. So, Mr. Sod, try to talk your way out of this one.
You forgot one thing.
Uh-oh, what's he talking about now?
While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder?
Wait, you can't be asking that to me. You're the witness. I'm the one that's asking questions.
So what? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case.
That's not how this works. You're supposed to answer the questions, not ask me the questions. He's right. How am I going to prove that? Dang it. So close. Mr. Wright. Your Honor, I'm supposed to be asking the witness questions, not the other way around. Still, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Huh? Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sawyer.
I come all the way down here to testify and look what happens. You treat me like a criminal. A criminal! You lawyers are all sly.
I almost had him. Slam the desk. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now.
Not so fast, Passat.
Mia. Chief. You're going Deus Ex Machina on me?
Listen up, Wright. I am Deus Ex Machina in this case. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. I think.
But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was on the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that.
Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Cracking it outside the box. Don't waste time down the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow, eh? Think it through. Like the statue. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason, and you'll have your proof. Alright, Mr. Wright? Can you think of a reason why the clock would be 3 hours slow? Well, do ya? Huh? My whole reputation's on the line. The whole law firm's on the line. Answer it now. Think of a reason. Hurry up.
Okay. Yes. Wait. Maybe I can prove it.
You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let him have it.
Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found the evidence to support this claim? Of course. Here's a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond doubt.
Ha! Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off.
Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. Oh, was it the time of death? Baby, where's the passport? But it is 3 hours slow, because if it's 4 p.m., then it would say 1 p.m. Let's try that. Excuse me, this proves your claim. How? I can't see what that evidence has to do with the clock.
Nope. That wasn't it. One more chance. Just give me one more chance.
Alright, Mr. Wright. The time is not on your side. Be quick about it. I have a hot dog date to go to. Now, let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow.
Maybe it was the blackout record. Go with the passport! Alright, let's try the passport.
The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim had reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Slam the desk. Proof enough for you, Mr. Saw It? Or should I say, Mr. Did It? Oh, did I tell you about the puns? Sorry, Your Honor. Order, I say. Well, clearly since he died, we may never know who really killed her. This case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness...
He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor.
Good. And I should see you in my chambers regarding this. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
I have to say, I'm impressed at how slow you truly are in this case. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly, in an incompetent way, and find the true culprit at the same time, by stumbling through everything.
Thank you, I think, Your Honor.
At this point, this is only formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butz, in the name of God, not guilty. And with that, this court is adjourned. Now get out of my face, all of you.
It turns out that Frank Saw It was a common burglar. I don't know what makes him common, but he posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, I ended up representing him. When Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Saw It let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Saw It grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find and bashed her upside the head.
August 3, 2:30 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2.
Dude, I still can't believe we won.
Right. Good job in there. Congratulations.
Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you and your Deus Ex Machina.
Not at all. Not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen the trial end on such a satisfying note. Now we're gonna get some more clients thanks to you.
I've never seen the Chief looking this happy before. It frightens me. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel.
Dude, my life is still over.
Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now?
Aw, Nick, dude. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon.
For what? Bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed.
Dude, my Cindy Wendy's gone, man. Gone forever. I'm alone in this world.
Larry, she was a...
let me try and explain this to you. She belonged to the streets. Dude.
Congratulations, Harry.
Harry? Dude, how am I Harry all of a sudden?
Yes, you. I can probably see the headlines now. Harry Butz. Innocent.
Hey, thanks, dude. I really owe you one. I won't forget this, ever. Let's celebrate, dude. Dinner, movie, my treat. You ain't got no money.
Oh no, I couldn't. That violates client law privileges.
I was the one who got you off the hook. Again. For the 20th time. Oh, hey, dude. Here, take this. It's a present. This is evidence.
Present from me? Wait, wasn't this evidence that...
Actually, I made this clock for her. Made one for her and one for me.
Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento.
Yo, big dude. Can you believe it? I was so into that shit. And she was just playing me for a fool. She truly did belong to the streets. I admit that. Don't that make you just want to cry? No, not really. Dude. Larry?
I'm so sorry.
Squeeze me. Yes, Wayne.
I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way.
Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay.
Oh, I'm not sympathizing, really. I'm just pitying you. Total pity. Isn't that right, really? Isn't that right? Don't you have something to show your friend?
Pity? Yeah, I can show pity also.
Something that proves how she felt about him?
Yeah, right. If you insist. What the heck is she talking about? She really did belong in the streets. Is it this? Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. What about the clock, dude? This is a clock you made for her, Larry. And she took it with her when she traveled. Whatever. She probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Dude. Well, what of it? Make of it what you will. Dude, stop patronizing me. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer, dude. Then why are you sweating? Really, dude, I am, thanks. Hope that made him feel a little better, delusionally.
Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People, too, never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. And if you believe in me, that believes in you. That believes in them. Are you watching the Gurren Lagann? Right? Listen, loud, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work is done. Shall we go off?
Yeah, I guess so. Shawarma? Anybody?
Say, how about dinner on me?
I just said that. Let's have some shawarma.
We'll drink a toast to innocent Butz.
I was thinking food, but okay, we'll go to drinking then. Sure.
Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying why you became a lawyer was because of him?
Yeah. Partly, at least. I mean, have you seen his parking tickets?
You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks?
So you're available? Is that what you say?
Oh no, please no, you're way beyond my league.
And so my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said,
Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends.
but I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us unless you count the clock he gave me. I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep.
The end. A brand new episode has been added.
Hey, not bad, huh? Oh, save for your progress up to this point. Yes.
That was not bad. Dude, that was pretty fun.
Yeah. So when do we get to try? I'm not sure. I think this will be it. The beginning. Haha. There we go. Episode 2, Turnabout Sisters. I can't wait.
Are we gonna begin now?
Yeah, well,
Bling, bling. Beep.
hey, this is you, Handy. Oh, hello. This is Maya.
Hey Maya, it's me.
Mia, what's up? You haven't called in a while.
Sorry, I've been so busy. How have you been?
Well, lonely. It's all your fault. No, I'm just teasing. But really, I am tired. Very tired. And missing you. I've been great. I'm finally getting used to having my own place. Ditching Mom was a great idea. She doesn't even know what city I am.
That's good to hear. Actually, I'm calling because I have a favor to ask.
I know. You want me to hold evidence for you?
Shop is on. There's a lot of buzz about the upcoming trial. I just don't feel safe giving the evidence here.
I got you. So what is it this time? A gun? A knife? Some kind of shiv? Or is it that bottle of formaldehyde?
It's a clock. Maya?
A clock?
Yes, a clock.
Okay.
Yeah, it's made to look like that statue, the thinker. It tells you the time. I thought you might like it. You always like toys.
A clock is not a toy. Hey, I'm not a little girl anymore, sis. I'm a woman. An independent woman.
Oh, stop it. Now. You know I'm only teasing. I was about to tell you, the clock isn't talking right now.
Talking? It's not working? Oh, that's lame. Wait, why is it talking?
I had to take the clockwork out, sorry. I put some papers inside it instead. Now it's just a paperweight. Literally and figuratively.
Papers? Is that the evidence, Dad? Well, there's a possibility that it might turn out that way, yes?
Can you come by the office tonight, say 9 o'clock? Speak it up. I'll be in the pre-trial meeting until then.
Okay, sis. But I expect dinner. Something good. None of that California roll crap. I want that sashimi. The fatty tuna type. Like burgers. I could really go for a good burger. Who isn't down for hamburgers?
Okay. I'll hit the usual joints.
And don't. No, that's too easy. It's okay, Handy. I know it's too easy. Alright, it's a deal. Okay, sis. See you soon.
Yep, I'll be waiting. Maya. B. Conversation recorded September 5th, 9:27 a.m. September 5th, 8:57 p.m. Fay and Company Law Offices.
Now, Miss Fay, I'll take what's mine. The papers.
I'm sorry, but I can't give you what I don't have.
Miss Fay, you are a poor liar. Why, I see it right over there. That must be the thinker that swallowed those papers with its mouth.
How did you know?
Ho ho, you are not cogniferous of my background. Gathering information is my business, you see.
I should have been more careful.
Ho ho ho. My dear Miss Fay, I'm very sorry that you stink at being a lawyer. But I am afraid I must ask you for one more thing. Your eternal silence. Farewell, Miss Fay. Send the devil my regards.
Ah!
Thinker slam. Oh yeah. I am too cool. Red, white, blue. Haha.
September 5th, 9:08 p.m. Fay and Company Law Offices.
Uh-oh, I'm late. Huh? That's strange. Guess the chief left me without me. She said her sister was coming over, so we should all go out for dinner. Or maybe they want to go out to dinner for themselves. I get the message. They just want to be to themselves. What's that smell? Blood? How can I smell blood? Mia! Maybe she's in her office. Ooh, this is new.
Dude, this is pretty cool.
Oh, get to look at stuff.
I smell blood, and that can't be good. I have to check and see if Mia the chief's okay. Oh, okay. So, that option, move. Okay, right into the office. That smell, blood.
Stop. Sis.
Someone's there.
No.
Chief? Chief, why are you sleeping over there for? Come on, wake up. It's time to go. Chief?
She's not sleeping.
And you are? ... Okay, ... ran. The strange girl dropped out cold. I left her lying on this office sofa in a room for evidence. That is full of evidence and most likely... Oh boy. I went back to the chief where she lay under the window instead of calling the police like I should. Her body was still warm and in a nice pose. I could feel it when I held her shoulder through those pads. Then, all too quickly, it began to fade. Until finally she was cold, lifeless, in a beautiful pose. Chief, wake up. Well, before I call the police, perhaps I should examine. Chief, it's hard seeing her like this, but if there are any clues here, she was struck on the head with a blunt object. Probably died instantly, even though I actually felt her dying slowly.
The thinker lying next to her must have been the murder weapon. Again.
The thinker added to the court record.
Well, I better hurry up with this gathering up all this evidence before the police arrive. There are some glass shards near the chief's body. Must be pieces of the glass light stand lying broken in the back of the room.
Glass shards added to the court record.
Nothing else that seems like clue here. What's this? A piece of paper. It must have fallen from his hand. What could it be? I didn't see that there before. It must have just appeared. A word written in blood on this scrap of paper. Maya. Did Mia write this? This piece of paper is a receipt from a department store, dated yesterday.
See, added to the court record.
I think that's enough snooping around here for now. I better get out of here before the police arrive. I think I did it. So yeah, maybe I should call the police. Find out what that girl is doing here. What's up with this plant? No clues here. No? Alright. Oh! Wow, that's interesting. Indeed! You can slide to the side! Yeah. Don't play around. We need to get into this whole thing. You're right. Oh. Huh. What's going on over here? A perfectly normal office desk. She had a very particular policy about office decor.
That bag on stuff applies here, but keep your stuff civil,
She says. What's up with the phone here? I'd better call the police. Huh? That's funny. A few of those screws on the receiver are missing. Looks like someone was halfway through taking it apart. Paul, please come quick. What was that? Someone screaming from outside the window? Oh dear. Oh, she's staring right at me. She's holding the phone in her hand. I've just been Hitchcocked. The paying company ledger book. Everything is written in the chief's ultra neat handwriting. It's a small office, but it makes a good bit of money. Surprisingly, the chief was never good with machines. About all she used this PC for was the email. And YouTube. And TikTok. Why? I don't know. But she picked up this ancient model at some garage sale for practically nothing. All the chief's important documents are packed here. This is where she filed her case records and recent rulings. It's a whole lot of cases. Phone receiver is missing a few screws though. I better not use it. Now, to find a way to call the police like I'm supposed to. What's going on here? It's painful to look, but I have to for me to say. Looks like she was hit in the head with a blunt weapon. She probably died instantly. Oh, this is weird. Does it reset? I think it does. Alright. Try going back to the other room. Sure thing. Yeah. Dude. You got a plot going here. Yes, I do, Spray Con. That girl just now, where'd she go? You put her right there at that sofa. Uh-oh. I hope she didn't run on me. Ah! Where'd she pop up from? She just teleported like that. Excuse me, but who are you? ... Okay, ... My name is Phoenix Wright. Nice to meet you. I do work here. Maya. Oh, so your name is Maya. Maya Faye. Faye? thought Mia was writing this girl's name. Maybe I should show her the receipt. I never thought there'd be use for evidence like this outside the courtroom. Who am I talking to? Before Mia died, she wrote a message with her own blood. She wrote it on the back of this receipt. Oh, that's my name. And ketchup. No, blood. Oh, why? Why would she write my name in ketchup? Not ketchup. Just calm down. Maybe I shouldn't have showed it to her. Oh, why would sis write my name? Uh-oh. Now I've done it. The police. Sounds like they're coming this way. We're gonna get arrested. Let's run. Freeze. Pause. Oh. Gumshoe. Oh, Gumshoe. Hey. Ooh, I know who I can give the voice to Gumshoe to. Hey. Roller. No, I won't use my metal voice. How dare you? Maybe you're right. Do you have an idea? I used spray con up on Larry Butz. Dude, it made perfect sense. Yeah, but Gumshoe would have been perfect for you. Who would I want to go with the voice? Roller? I'm not doing the metal voice! I don't know. Should I? Oh. Yeah, okay. It can make sense. What you gonna do? Alright. I'm Detective Dick Gumshoe, son. No, why are you gonna use that voice? I'm using that voice. Why? Because Bradley, I can't think of anything else. Gumshoe, why not name? We received a report from building across the way, son. Got a person saying they saw a murder. Must have been that woman I saw. Dang it. She looked good too. Alright, I don't want either of you moving 1 inch, okay? Great. Just great. Maya? Wait, she wouldn't. Could she? Maybe? No? Nah. Perhaps no. Yeah. No? Yeah. Whoa! Here's mine. Hey! Does word Maya here mean anything to you? That's my name. What? The victim drew this here note in her own blood, see? It's not ketchup. It's blood. With her dying breath, she wrote down the killer's name. What? Wait, what? No, I'm not. Guys, closed. You're coming down to the precinct, ma'am. You're under arrest. What? Why? Mia's younger sister, Maya, was arrested on the spot. I was taken in for questioning and didn't get out until the next morning. After sitting in the jail cell with Bubba. My eyes were heavy and I couldn't sleep because I had to watch out for Bubba. I sat around waiting for visiting hours to begin at the detention center, where I had to get my bail money. And I had to talk to Maya as soon as possible.
September 6, 9:07 a.m. detention center visitors room.
Wow, they have poor Maya locked up like a criminal.
Oh, it's you, the lawyer. Good morning.
Good morning. She looks so tired.
Are you going to be my attorney?
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. It's up to you. I better give it to her straight. There may be a conflict of interest here. It's up to you.
To me?
Yes. I don't think this is something I should decide.
Why?
After all, you're the one in trouble in here.
But you were in jail last night.
That's true. But you're the one that they pinned it on.
They're never going to believe me, are they?
Probably not.
Even you, when you found me in the office, you looked at me like I had done it.
I'm sorry to say it, but, yeah. Did I look at her like that? Perhaps. Bit of a habit.
No.
No. I never thought I did.
It's okay, I understand. It's pretty easy and obvious. Yeah. And I've also heard about you.
Heard? Heard what about me? Oh boy. Is that about the squirrels?
I was talking to my sister on the phone the other day. Today was my junior partner's first time in court. Wow, really? How'd that go? Terrible. It was quite the scene. He really floundered around. Honestly, I was on the edge the whole time. It's been a while, but I had to bail him out. As always. Oh, so he crashed and burned? Oh yeah, you should have seen him. He's a genius, though. One of those strike fear into the hearts of evil types? That's what I would have thought and said if he hadn't fumbled around that way. But the only thing he's lacking is experience. Oh, sounds like it was fun. Well, I was laughing inside. Well, I know who to go to if I ever get into trouble now. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't know, Maya. I think you might want to wait. Give him 3 more years. He's really rough around the edges. That is, unless you want to be found guilty. No! That's what she said.
Wow. Why am I working for this firm again?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult you.
No, it's okay. It's true, I guess. So, good luck finding another lawyer.
Wait.
Alright. I can't just sit by and watch. When I think of the person who did this to Mia.
So sad. I know.
Let's talk about you. There's something I've been wanting to ask you.
Yes?
What's with that outfit?
Oh, I'm cosplaying. This is what all acolytes wear. It's my uniform, you could say.
Acolyte? Are you some kind of cult or something?
That's offensive. Don't offend me. It's religious training. What is...
Okay. But what is it you do?
Oh, it's nothing strange, really. I'm a spirit medium in training.
Spirit medium? Pretty sure that qualifies as strange. So, what is a spirit medium? You're an acolyte. What kind of acolyte? Never mind. You're a medium in training, huh?
That's right. The Fae family, especially the women, have always been very sensitive to the spirit world.
Excellent. You know what you could do? Bring out Mia, and she can explain what actually happened to us. And then we'll find the actual culprit. Perfect. Just
summon her up and give us a name. It doesn't work that way. So, the Faye family then? Mia was into this stuff too? Of course. She left the mountain to follow her career, she said. Great, mountain folk. Her powers were first class too. Did y'all come down from like Cascadia or something? Oh, never mind. First class, huh? I had no idea. And she could have solved my last case very easily. Wait. What? So, you're a real honest to goodness spirit medium? With ESP and all that? Yes. And training. Close enough. Well, can't you contact me as spirit then? We could just ask her who killed her. Oh! Well, the thing is, I'm still in training. What part of that did you not understand? I couldn't do something on that level. Thought that would be too easy. In fact, it should be easy. Hey, how about we go to visit your family and go and communicate with one of your other relatives who's first class? It doesn't work like that. We have to stay here. Day of the crime. Could you tell me about the day of the murder? Yes. Let's see. That morning, I got a call from my sister. She wanted me to hold on to a piece of evidence for an upcoming trial. Evidence? Yes. That clock shaped like the thinker. That thing again? Dang it, Larry. How could that have been evidence in a case? Oh, right. She said something about that. What was it? Oh, I remember. Do you want to hear it in her own voice? Wait, what? Huh? Huh? Oh, your ventriloquist? Yeah. In her own voice? Yeah. I'm pretty sure our conversation's on my cell phone. Oh, okay. What were you thinking? Something else. So, you recorded it, right? Yeah, I forgot how to delete those things. You'll be surprised what's in there. Alright, let's listen to your cell phone. So you say you have a conversation with your sister on your cell phone? Yeah, just don't select number 69. Alright, let's hear it then. Hi. Alright, hand me the cell phone. Well, do you have your cell phone on you? Well, I just remembered that detective took my cell phone. Yes. You know why, right? Because I'm under arrest. That's right, you're under arrest. Sorry. Oh, right. Yeah. Always sorry. Next time I see Detective Gumshoe, I'll ask him for it. I'll write you a note so you don't forget, okay? Sure, thanks.
Bias memo added to the court record.
Conversation that I had with my sister's recorded on my cell phone. Bias memo. Huh? Something the matter? I was wondering, could I ask you a favor? Oh, fine. This is the address of a famous lawyer. My sister gave me this a long time ago. She said if I was ever in trouble, I should call him. And well, I'm in trouble. Do you think you could ask him to represent me? Sure, what's his name? Why not? I'll go ask. His name is Johnny Cochran. He's dead. Well, thank you so much. Didn't you just hear me? Johnny Cochran is dead. I have no one else to turn to. You can spiritually attune to him and you'll see that he's dead. So, what about your parents? see. Don't worry, leave it to me. Jeez, man. Parents these days abandoning their children for cigarettes.
Thank you. The trial's tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
Ah! Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
This guy refuses.
They told me that if I don't find one, the state will pick an attorney to defend me.
Yeah, those state appointed attorneys, they tend to stutter. When will that happen?
They're giving me until 4 this afternoon.
Visiting hours are almost up. I better hurry. Right, I'll be back. Now, could you tell me about the day of the murder?
What? I thought you were leaving.
Well, I kind of forgot this one little thing here. Sorry, I know it must be hard.
Oh, it's okay. I'm smiling, but I'm crying inside. All I've been doing the last few hours is talking about it. It's traumatizing. I've kind of gotten used to it, though. After all, I do see the dead. Now let's see. That morning, I got a call from my sister. She wanted me to hold on to a piece of evidence for an upcoming trial.
That's the thing to clock that Larry made. Practically qualifies as a serial murderer now. So then, when did you arrive at the office?
It was right around 9 o'clock. The lights were off and I could smell blood. I never knew my sister's blood smelled like chicken. And that's when I found her. My sister.
Thanks, Maya. That's all I need to hear for now.
It's okay.
This guard monitors the visitor's room. There's only some way to bribe him. He hasn't moved an inch. A real pro, this guy. Makes the Queen of England real proud. Smile for the camera. Okay. Oh, you know what? Let's present. Let's find out about the broken charts. This was lying next to the chief's body.
I saw that too. It's a shame they broke perfectly good light bulb. They said they thought these were pieces of a broken light stand.
Yeah, that seems about right. Want that light stand for her, dang it. I wanted to ask you about the murder weapon again.
Poor sis. Sniff.
Better not ask her about this now. And what about this? Remember that receipt?
You mean the one with my name on it? Written in ketchup?
Blood. Any idea why she...
Absolutely none. Do you trust me?
I trust you.
You were tempted to say that.
Yeah, I was tempted to say I don't trust you.
Dude, that's uncool.
Anyway, I trust you.
Why? Don't you think I did it too?
Yes, I do think you did it too, but as a defense attorney, I have to trust you. It's just a hunch, but she totally did it.
That detective thinks I did it.
He may not be wrong. I want to ask you about your cell phone.
That detective took it when they brought me in.
So Gumshoe took it. I'll have to try to get it back next time I see him. Okay, let's move. Grossberg Law Offices.
September 6th, Grossberg Law Offices.
According to the receptionist, the big boss is out. She couldn't say when he'd be back. Must be hard to keep track of everything when you're a famous lawyer. Not to mention running an office like this. I mean, just look at that painting. What is he trying to say? They grabbed the bull by the horns or something? That's some dodgeball level stuff going there. I guess I'll just have to come back later. That painting has been bugging me ever since I stepped in here. The oil paint is so thick it's practically giving me a stuffed nose. I'm sure the price is nothing to sneeze at either, for that matter. This lawyer's overcompensating. Expensive-looking mahogany bookshelves filled with expensive-looking books. Me, I would have preferred cherry wood with a little lacquer on the side. Funny, they don't look like they've ever been read. I read everything. Dang teacher. A solid mahogany desk. Again with the mahogany. Give me cherry wood anytime. The wood's been polished to a deep luster. Huh. They really shellacked the crap out of that wood. An expensive potted plant. That was probably brought here illegally. How do you get that past customs? No idea what kind of plant it is, but it's probably the most expensive one of it. Wait a minute. These leaves look familiar. Why are you doing that? It's a joke, it's a joke, it's a joke. I won't go any further. A table for clients. An elegant ebony case, and if I'm not mistaken, the lighter is made of solid gold. Seriously, solid gold? I bet you that lighter didn't even work. The lighter I got has lasted me 2 years now. Even I could tell someone here's got money to burn. Oh well, let's go.
September 6th, Bay and Company Law Offices.
The office is filled with police officers. They are all busily searching for clues. This is a crime scene, pal. No trespassing. I work here. Sorry. Don't I know you from somewhere? Wait, you're that Butz guy, aren't you? No. Phoenix Wright. How can anyone mistake me for Larry? I guess I got the wrong name, Mr. Wright. How about that? That Butz guy, he was a killer. And you're no killer, right? He was proven innocent. Right, and you were... Gumshoe, was it? Dick Gumshoe? Right, at your service. Hang on, that's Detective Gumshoe to you, pal. Alright, get the name right. Your first name is Detective? Aha! You got on. You're catching it. I am Detective, Mr. Detective Gumshoe. And don't go calling me Dick. Hey, Dick, get over here! Yes, sir. Be right there, sir. Ahem. You're her lawyer, right, pal? If you got business here, you better do it quick. Phew, he thinks I'm his lawyer. Let's examine Mia's favorite potted plant. I remember it had this bizarre name no one could remember. Cordyline stricta. Who is that? Mia's desk. Perfectly clean as always. The only thing it's missing is Mia. There's a horrendous amount of legal books here. How should I have the time to read all this? Scary still is that Mia probably read all of these. Somehow. An old movie poster. My kind of gal. Apparently, this was the first movie that made Mia cry when she saw it. It's called Casablanca. I'll have to check it out one of these days. Venetian blinds. They used to hide and cover the window. And you could block out the sun if needs be. And the sky is blue, and so am I. Here's that hotel right across the way. I think that's Watergate. Alright, let's talk to this guy. So, about Miss Faye, did you do an autopsy? What? No, I'm not a doctor. Want to know the results, huh? Well, yes, I'm a lawyer. I need this evidence. Now, don't go you look at me like that, pal. It's no use. She might have been your boss, but that doesn't mean you get any special treatment. But you're supposed to give me the evidence. Alright. You can see the report, but that's all.
Autopsy report added to the court record.
Time of death was September 5th. 9 p.m. Single blunt force trauma. Oh boy. Death was instantaneous. Not really. It was quite slow. About Maya. Duh. I'm looking forward to the trial. She's guilty. Guilty as heck. Sorry, pal, but this is one trial you aren't going to win. Aha! Why do you say that? They said he's put Prosecutor Edgeworth on the prosecution. What? Edgeworth? I'm sure you know what that means. You're being a lawyer and all. You're gonna get crushed. Haha! Prosecutor Edgeworth. That's right, pal. Mr. Miles Edgeworth himself. The man, the myth, the legend. His painting is pretentious. But you do know him, don't you?
No, of course not.
I don't know. It seems like I do.
Dude, go for it.
Of course not. Never heard of him. Whoa, and you call yourself a lawyer, pal? About 4 years ago, this Edgeworth guy became a prosecutor at the age of 20. Everyone says he's a genius. Surprised you don't know him. Of course I know him. I was playing dumb. Cold, heartless machine will do anything to get a guilty verdict. There are rumors of back alley deals and forged evidence. Man, it's a shiesty, corrupt little... All I know for sure is that Edgeworth hates crime with an almost abnormal passion. It's like Batman if I was a lawyer. Never imagined I'd be facing him so soon. Oh, let's present some of this stuff here. I was wondering, do you know anything about this? That statue, that's the murder weapon. He thinks the clock is just a statue too. I'm starting to wish I'd never seen this thing. It was broken glass at the crime scene, right? Hold up. Seems like a glass stand next to the victim fell over. The glass shards were pieces of the broken stand. There was a piece of paper next to the victim, wasn't there? Yeah, the one with the killer's name written on it. Are you sure it's the killer? Are you sure that Mia wrote it herself, even? Given the condition of the writing, it's hard to say if it's her handwriting or not. So, you're not an expert in handwriting, then. So, there's no proof that Mia wrote it. Yeah. Thanks for this. Don't mention it, pal. When it comes to dealing with lawyers, fight fair and square is our motto. Unless you're Edgeworth. What's that? Nothing. I don't know how I feel seeing everything written up like this. Makes me as death seem so routine. You must have seen things. Alright, let's move.
Hi! What is it? Did you meet the lawyer?
Sorry? I haven't seen him yet.
I see. He doesn't like me.
I'm gonna go see if I can find this elite lawyer she's talking about. And where is he? Who knows, dude? I'm gonna have to try something else.
maybe you're missing something.
I probably am. See, if I say move... Okay, you know... I was wondering, did you see my face cell phone? All that, I have that. Do you think you could give it back to me? In fact, wait, shouldn't that be in the evidence room? Oh no. Sure, I mean, wait a second, pal. Tricky lawyer? Oh, he's on to me. Just tell the truth. I tell him what I want, there's no way he'll give it to me. Something the matter? Oh, no, it's just, you know, detective. Nope, I know nothing, pal. That cell phone has a lot of numbers on it, like her boyfriend. My cell phone holds all a little girl's the sweetest and spiciest secrets. Oh, you're just trying to confuse me. Do I have to get Chris Hansen on you? What? Sorry, pal. I already checked all the numbers in memory. Impressive. You're quite the detective. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. You can have the phone back. There weren't any suspicious call records in there after all. Wow. Didn't notice the recorded conversation. In fact, why is he giving me the evidence just like that? Shouldn't it be in the evidence room? Man, he really is dumb.
By a cell phone received from Detective Gunshoe. Check the court record to hear the recorded conversation.
Ooh. Let's see. Oh. Ah, interesting. Interesting. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So. I guess I've asked all the questions I need to. You're all done, pal? Yes, thank you. I'll be heading out now. Alright. One more thing I wanted to mention to you. I don't suppose you're planning on talking to the wet witness. Anyway, you better not. No influencing the witness with your loyalty ways, pal. Wait a second. It is my job to talk to the witness. That's my one and only job. To talk to witnesses. Oh, yeah, other part of the job. Still, I'm allowed to talk to witnesses. Come to think of it, I had completely forgot about her. The witness? Oh, Miss April May. Born in June. I'm sorry about this, but I can't tell you anything about her. Well, you just told me her name, Miss May, huh? In fact, you're supposed to tell me these things. So you've sent her home already then? Aha! You're trying your loyalty tricks on me now. She's not to go outside her room until the trial. Wait, is that legal? So she's still in the hotel across the way. I guess I should know better than to try to get a detective to leak information. You got that right, pal. Time to pay a visit to Miss May. I gotta say, this is kind of ridiculous. I know, Bradley. I mean, can't talk to witnesses? You're supposed to talk to witnesses. What kind of detective tells you not to talk to witnesses? That's 100% illegal. Oh. What is it? I made a Watergate joke. You're right. Whoa! What are the odds? Okay, that's funny.
September 6th, Gatewater Hotel, room 303. Yeah. Hello there, Hanson.
Hi. Smooth, right? Real
told me. He said, don't say nothing to our lawyer pal.
Says Sal. Thank Detective Gumshoe for making my job harder. Note to self. Get internal affairs on Detective Gumshoe for obstruction of lawyer duties.
Hey, this is all like something out of a movie. It's all so exciting. I can hardly contain myself. Let me go freshen up so I can look the part of a beautiful witness.
Wait a second. I pity the lawyer that has to cross-examine this one. Oh, what do we got here? There's a screwdriver stuck in this drawer. I wonder what's inside. Let's take a look.
Hey. What are you doing? No touching. Bad boy. You really shouldn't pry around in other people's rooms now. You wouldn't want to make me upset, would you?
Upset? I thought she was going to explode for a second there. I wonder what could be inside the drawer. Let's do the painting here. A still scene painting. Wait, should that be still life? Whatever. One of those is hanging on. The late summer sunlight streams through the window. Here's the painting coming off this building, of course. You can see the inside of it pretty clearly from here. I think it would be a little difficult to recognize the face from this distance, though. Unless she had binoculars. A bottle and 2 glasses are on the table. Somebody must be staying with her. Unless she's that kind of drinker. A simple bed. It's been recently made. Nothing eye-catching here. What's inside, I wonder? Maybe later? How about these flowers? Oh, they're fake, as expected. I know some flowers are tubes, but that's about the extent of my floral knowledge. Alright. Do you think you could tell me something? I need you to describe what you observed at the time of the incident.
Oh, observed. Incident. You sound just like a lawyer in the movies.
I am a lawyer.
I like a man with a big vocabulary.
Is this a children's game? I don't think so. There was blood. Okay, I was just checking. Better not encourage her. You know that thing that occurred? What happened the other day? That thing? What did you see when it happened? I don't suppose you could tell me about it. Pretty please?
Let me see. Trayvon, if you want me to know, you'll just have to come to court tomorrow, Mr. Lawyer.
Oh boy. I'm definitely gonna have to get internal affairs to investigate Gumshoe for this interference. Could you just, who exactly are you?
Oh, Mr. Lawyer, are you hitting on me?
I wish. No. Hey, I'm just doing my job here.
You know, you're cute when you blush.
Believe me, this is the first time in my life I've blushed this much. I am so sad. Right, can you just tell me what it is you do?
Well, no. And you had your little hopes up there.
Oh boy. I see there are 2 glasses on the table.
Yeah, what is it?
Is someone staying here with you?
What amazing powers of observation. You must be one of those famous detectives like on television.
What is it with you in television?
Oh no, not me, Arthur.
You got the voice wrong. Yep, I know, Bradley, I know. Oh no, not me. I'm just a lawyer.
Say, Mr. Big Detective,
Lawyer.
why don't you go look for clues in the garbage? Hmm?
I thought I was already doing that, looking in the garbage. Right in front of me.
Miss Bay doesn't like cozy little lawyers.
Oh boy.
Excuse me, but I'm a witness. Please witness, you understand? How could I possibly give you information in good conscience? Hmm? Me, the witness. It's just like in the movie.
I think this is gonna be the same thing. It's like all of them. Yeah, I think you're right. I'll try it all.
Dude, who knows? Something weird might happen. I gotta say, this is a weird world. A lot of the stuff they're doing is completely unethical and illegal.
Do they not have a constitution? I think this was supposed to be set in Japan, but they chose America when they translated it.
That's weird.
Yeah. Okay, so there's no way I can get into this. Alright. Well, let's go to Grossberg Law Offices again. Seems like Mr. Grossberg is still out. Well, maybe I should just wait here for him to come back. Oh, I think this may be you, Roller. It is? Yep. Alright. Oh, if that wasn't the most over-the-top clear note throat I have ever heard. Oh, it's not him. Oh, I'm disappointed. What would Grossberg's voice be? He's fat.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. Oh. So you're the one they say has been looking for me.
Yes, that's me. He looks even grander than I mentioned. Very Jabba-like.
That color on your badge. Oh. So you're a lawyer now, are you?
Yes, well, yes.
And what do you want? I'm not particularly busy these days. Please proceed. Oh.
Not busy. Then how come no one could get in touch with you?
Something the matter. You came to see the one and only Marvin Grossberg, did you not? Oh, here I am, boy. What do you want? Out with it.
Well, sir, actually, it's about Maya Fey.
Yes, Maya Fey. Go on.
Why the strange reaction?
Oh, cha. I'm really quite busy here, son. I can't go taking cases on a day's notice. No, it's quite impossible.
Wait a second. How'd you know the trial was tomorrow?
Ahem. Anyway, I'm afraid it's entirely impossible for me to represent her. Sorry, end of discussion. What's
going on? He refused me before I even got a chance to ask him. What do I tell Maya? Alright, let's talk. How can you just refuse like that? Please, tell me, why won't you take the case?
Well, see, it's just, I'm busy, you see.
laughing. Oh. But the client is Mia-Faye's sister.
Mia trusted.
Mia trusted you. She knew her sister would be in good hands.
Yes, of course, I know that. However, I'm sorry, but I must refuse. Sorry, goodbye.
Creep. Fine. I don't have time to argue with you anyway. I'll go look elsewhere.
Grumble. Dig dot.
Huh? Did you just say something?
No, I think that I said.
What do you mean?
I'm terribly sorry, but I'm afraid that no lawyer worth this, so will take on this particular case. Terribly sorry, my boy.
Why?
I cannot say. I beg your pardon, but could you leave now? I've got nothing more to discuss you. Oh.
Well, what's going on here? How did you know Mia-Faye?
She worked here a long time ago. Quite the apprentice that was. Learned my techniques in the blink of an eye. The force was with her. Oh. She left one day quite suddenly. She had a mission, you see.
A mission?
To use the force and bring the galaxy together. You could see it in her eyes. She followed it with a burning passion. Never looked back, that one.
That's quite a painting.
Oh. You noticed? It's my pride and joy. Impressive, isn't it? Well, isn't it? That's me, grabbing the bull by the horns. The color of the sky, the hue of the sea, the weave of the straw hat. It's worth at least $3 million. I have no intention of parting with it, of course. No. I won't sell it, not even to you.
I was not interested in it.
It's not for sale.
Okay, I'm not buying.
Very sorry, but I've got nothing to say in this matter.
I don't think he's gonna say anything. I agree. We should move on.
Ew.
All right. Oh, back to the detention center.
September 6th, 3:42 p.m. Detention Center, visitors room.
Hiya.
It's Maya. And I'm glad you're back. Did you find the lawyer?
How do I break this to her? Yes and no. See, should I be honest? I really don't think you should use that guy. He didn't seem healthy. He was all skin and bones?
He's fat. Why are you lying? What really happened? You know me. He refused to help.
Well, Erp?
Don't erp me. Tell me the truth. I see. I've been abandoned then, just like my parents.
Yeah, let's talk about your parents. Hey!
It's Jody Star. Hi, Jody Star.
Hey, welcome to the chat. We're in the middle of Ace Attorney now. What about your family?
I only had my sister. My father died when I was very young. And I don't know where my mother is.
Okay, so half abandonment. So she could still be alive? Probably still looking for them cigarettes. So, about your mother.
The women of my family have been mediums for generations. They say a lot of spiritual power runs in our blood. About 15 years ago, our family was involved in an incident.
What kind of incident?
There was a man and
Well, we sent him to hell. He ruined our mother's life.
Ruined?
After that, she disappeared. So years after that, my sister announced she would become a lawyer and she left the mountain.
Dang mountain folk. So you live by yourself?
Yeah, it's fun. I've gotten used to it. Though, it does get lonely. I have my friends though imaginary. Oh, also, I had to become independent or I would lose my powers.
Huh? Okay. I feel bad all by herself up on that mountain, but well, I guess she's doing fine. Your mother's enemy. So who was this man who ruined your mother?
About 15 years ago, there was an unusual murder case. It made quite a stir. Everyone was talking about it, apparently. The word gets around the mountains a lot. The police were running out of leads and they were getting desperate. So they started making up evidence.
Wait, what? They didn't use a spirit medium? Did they?
The police convinced my mother to try to contact the victim.
Wow, so what happened?
The case was solved. We thought.
You thought? Wait, let's become a minority report in this situation.
The man my mother helped the police captured was innocent.
Yep. It was definitely a minority report situation.
The police's consultation with the man had all been carried out in secret, of course. But a man found out about it and leaked it to the press.
Wow, they got Snowden.
He told all the papers that my mother was a fraud, and the media jumped on it big time.
Wow, this was before Twitter.
My mother, became the laughingstock of the nation.
Wow, that went far. I see.
Yeah. White?
Excuse me? White? What about White?
That was his name. My sister told me.
White?
Just a little longer now before the state-appointed lawyer comes, I guess.
4 p.m. Time's up. What should I do? Do I just leave her and go home? Go home. There's nothing for me here to do. Good luck, Maya. I'm sure your state-appointed lawyer will be of great help. I think I better go home now.
Goodbye.
Bradley, stop chasing Jody's star. Well, I'm not doing anything at the moment, so still. We'll be getting to the trial soon. Don't you worry, Bradley. Just stop flying around Jody Star. It was a few days later when I found out how the story ended. The result of the trial was in the newspaper. Guilty. I'll probably never meet her again. Did I make the right choice? Yes, I did. Will I ever know? Who cares? Mia, if you can hear me, please tell me. Nah, I'm not gonna let that happen, everybody. We're not gonna do that. I'm not leaving here until she takes me as her lawyer. Because I'm a lawyer man. I've made up my mind. I'm going to defend you whether you want me to or not.
Are you qualified?
What?
Why?
Well, I don't know why, okay?
You don't know.
No, I don't know. I mean, I just found out that your sister is a medium. She can communicate with ghosts. She's freaking John Edwards.
Oh.
Is the girl sitting in front of me still the killer? Probably. I mean, I have seen Amityville Horror. And all the evidence does say yes.
That would explain the palm, that tree that Mia brought in. I always was suspicious about that. That plant, it looked like it could communicate with you. Maybe it was whispering to Maya. There's something about this whole thing that smells fishy. That witness's strange behavior. Was that all an act? I mean, just look at those hands, the way she was doing. She thinks she's a cat. And the way that lawyer refused to help out Maya. And his pretentious picture back there. And he's got that plan too. I think that's narcotic. But more than all that, she has no one left to help her. Which is unfortunate. But I guess I have to do this pro bono. Nothing more sad and lonely than pro bono. I'm never gonna see them. I know, I've been there a long, long time ago. Doing traffic cases and receiving pittance for it. God, Larry, what's with you and those traffic tickets? Why did they become a lawyer in the first place? Because someone has to look out for the people who have no one on their side. There's only one thing I know for certain. I won't abandon you. You can count on me. But my sister told me you only did one case. Yep, that's right. We're gonna do this all good. Oh, that's so kind of you, but you only did one murder case. Sniff. One murder case. I know it was just one murder case, but I did good. I totally aced it. She said you fumbled. Of course she would say that. Well, let's fight this one and get you out of here. Right, thank you. Ooh, she smiled at last. She looks like an intelligent person. Maybe she was a split personality. Well, one last question. You are innocent, right? Yes! Why would I kill my sister? Oh, for a whole lot of reasons. Why are you looking like that? I trust you. So trust me that trusted you, okay? I can watch a girl log it. Okay, it's a deal. So what next? There's something that's been bugging me. Just what was inside that strange woman's drawer? It was when I tried to look into that drawer that she got all defensive. I know that's a screwdriver, but is that a metaphor? There has to be something in there. Let's try again. Good afternoon, sir. Excuse me, who you are? Oh, I beg your pardon, sir. I am the bellboy of this establishment at your service, sir. Just call me bellboy. Oh, right. You've just come up to deliver room service, sir. You mean I've? Yes, I've. Do you know where Miss May might be? Ah, I believe our best guest, Miss May, is currently using the facilities. If you've no need of anything, I'll be taking my leave. Please, stay as long as you like. Enjoy, even though you should not be here. Yeah. You're right. Thank you. Wait, no, hey. Why does it seem like every time I come here, I end up embarrassing myself? Though, why am I thinking that I'm embarrassing myself when... Now's my chance to snoop around a bit. Oh, I forgot something. You came back quick. Might I ask you to inform Miss May that there is a massage for her? You mean message? That's what I said. Please tell her that Mr. White of Blue Corp phoned. Oh, right, sure. Mr. White of Blue Corp? Where have I heard that name before? Was that a Black Corp, part of the Black Corp Corporation? Or the Red Corp Corporation. Anyway. Why? That was his name. My sister told me. Wow, that was a good flashback. White was the name of the guy who ruined Mia and Maya's mother. Could it be a coincidence? I think not. Now, let's see what's in here. There's a screwdriver sticking out of that half-open drawer. That's my chance to see what's inside. Huh? Oh my gosh. Close it up, close it up! It was mechanical. Oh, that was very X-rated. Open the drawer. What do we have here? A wiretap. Oh, good. I thought that was... Anyway. What would a woman like her be doing with a thing like this? Although, sure. Hey, stop throwing a rock at me. Hey, you're the one that was flying around her. Well, I'm just waiting for you to get to the trial. I know. But stop messing with Jody Star. She is worthy of being a sky pirate. She doesn't want to be a sky pirate. Stop messing with Jody Star. Anyway, what would a woman like her be doing with a thing like this? 1,000 things, but let's keep it PG.
Wiretap added to the court record.
Found in Miss May's hotel room. There's definitely something suspicious about this Miss May. Or perhaps she's Miss July. Why would she have something like this in her hotel room? Get that thought out of your head! Sorry. There's a story behind all this. I know it. Oh, we're getting hugs, spray con, roller. I know! I like it. Thank you, Jody Star. Alright. I'll be using this bit of evidence in tomorrow's trial, that's for sure. For Maya's sake. I'll get to this woman's bottom. Like, I mean... You know what I mean. I meant to say it. I totally meant to say it. Especially looking at this wiretap, I meant to say it.
Oh, Bellboy. Stupid.
Uh-oh. Time to scram. I look forward to tangling with you tomorrow, Miss May. And I don't mean... Anyway. In court. So cute, dude. Yes. I'll put it back up here. All right. Let's see here. Should we call it? I don't know. Do you want to call it? I'm just thinking here. Yeah, I'm calling it. All right. We'll resume with day 2 next week. This was a good start. What do you guys think? That's fun. Indeed, dude. Totally radical. I agree. This is fascinating. Although, there are strange inconsistencies. I know. Like, all the legal and unethical stuff that's going on in the show, in the story. Like, not letting the witnesses being interviewed, which is a direct violation of the Constitution. Hoy. And the judge acting like a lawyer when he's supposed to just sit there quietly and just mediate and regulate the lawyers. I don't know. But it is a work of fiction. And a good one at that, at least. Well, it's totally fun. Definitely fun. So, we'll be doing day 2 of the Turnabout Sisters episode next week. I don't know when Jody Star is going to
put you guys down, but hey, you know what? You all look happy. I'm happy. Dude, I don't know what she's gonna do, but it's totally awesome. Indeed. Well, so thank you, Jody Star, for stopping on by. And just remember, everybody who's watching, don't hesitate to hit the follow button, subscribe here on Twitch, or if you're over on YouTube, subscribe and like this video recording, whatever this is, whatever it's going to be, and show your support. Most definitely show your support while you're talking like that. I don't know. I'm not used to talking like this. But still, if you like this content, just go for it. Yeah, follow us. Follow. You know you want to. And with all that said, everybody, thanks for joining us. And I wish you a good night, a buenas noches, and hoy suminasai.